from PRX.
Friends beyond the binary, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to Sleep With Me. I'm so glad you're here. I'm here to be your Boar friend, your Boar Bay, your Boar Sib, your Boris Borloff. If you're welcome, this is a podcast that's here to be your friend in the deep dark night, tell you a silly story, and take my time doing it because I'm just here to keep you company throughout the deep dark night, whether you're awake or asleep, just like a TV on in the other room or a friend who you're like, maybe you have them on speakerphone or whatever. You say, you just talked to me about a bunch of, can you read through a report or something? Your voice is, kind of soothing and you never get to the point. That's what this podcast is. It's a friend who you don't even need to call me. You just have to press play. So I'm really glad you're here. This is a very silly show. It is a very different show. So try it out and see how it goes. I make this show because I've had trouble sleeping my whole life. And then I started making this podcast because I knew what helped me out was not something that was supposed to put me to sleep. So this show does not pressure you to fall asleep or tell you I'm going to put you to sleep, or it's nothing performative. It's just a friendly, distracting voice to take your mind off of the fact you can't sleep, even though I pointed out a bunch in the beginning. So just see how it goes. I'm really glad you're here. And the way the show works, what we got coming up is support, so paying for the show is optional. Then a long, meandering intro that's meant to ease you into bedtime, or you could listen to as you're getting ready for bed. But if this is your first time listening, just to come along on this journey. And then later on, we'll have a bedtime story. Tonight, I'm pretty sure it'll be based on somebody reading. We'll be reading through a report about sleep. But don't worry, I'll sleep. There's nothing in my experience less sleep-inducing than sleep news and sleep reports. Because they tend to put, I say, oh man, I can't even start with that. But I thought that'd be an idea. Let's try it and let's see how it goes. So I really appreciate you coming by, whether this is your 1200th time or your 5th time tonight or your first time. You are welcome here. That's why I start the show out in the way I do. And I hope I can help you fall asleep, or at least make your at least be able to pronounce some words, and at least make your night a little bit less, you know what I mean? Like a little bit better, or even neutrally say, well, my night went from awful to like, when I started listening to that sleep podcast, or that's my goal. That's my dream, is to just make your night a little bit less worse, and maybe make it better. Maybe win over you say, oh, okay, I could listen to you on a regular basis, but no pressure. So see how it goes. I'm really glad you're here. And we make this show together. I work really hard. A team of people work really hard to put it out, and people support the show back or support our sponsors back. And it's a beautiful thing. So I really appreciate all the people that are actively a part of that. And if you want to be a part of that, you could do whatever I'm going to say next is probably how you could do it. Thanks. Hey, everybody, it's Scoots. I'm talking about tonight's sponsor, Helix Sleep. And if you don't have a Helix mattress in your life, you got to think about taking the quiz at helixsleep.com/sleep. I've been sleeping in my Helix probably longer than you've been listening to this podcast. And I love my bed so much. I have a move coming up, and I'm trying to decide because I have to move in a couple different stages just due to things outside of my control. And I know I'm going to be in my apartment, but most of my stuff's going to be gone. And I'm like, should I keep my Helix there and then buy another Helix for my next destination? Or should I pay to have that Helix moved, but I don't want to be without it because I don't think I'll be able to sleep without it because I love sleeping in my Helix. And I know it'll be super easy if I take the Helix quiz at helixsleep.com/sleep. Maybe my needs and feel preferences have changed. So I could see what my options are. I could choose between a Luxe mattress, a Helix Elite, or just, whatever comes up in my search. I know I'll have choices. So the question is, do you have that kind of relationship with your mattress that you don't want to be without it? Because if you don't, what are you waiting for, right? You could have a Helix shipped straight to your door free of charge and get testing it out. But the first thing you need to do is just take that quiz, because Helix has you and your needs in mind, your field preferences. How do you like to sleep? How does your partner like to sleep? So it is time for you to get a new bed. Because trust me, this summer, I do not want to be without my Helix mattress. And Helix has got an amazing deal lined up for you. Go to helixsleep.com/sleep for 27% off site-wide during their 4th of July sale happening now. This offer is exclusive for listeners to Sleep With Me. That's helixsleep.com/sleep for this exclusive 4th of July sale offer. That's 27% off site-wide. helixsleep.com/sleep. Thanks, everybody. Hey, but this is Scoots, and this message, it just might be for you. If you're hearing my voice, maybe you hit play, you drifted off, and you woke back up, or maybe you got this show playing all night long. Maybe this is your 4th, 5th, 6th night this week listening to the show, your 2nd episode of the night. And maybe missing the campaign we've been running, right, for super listeners, right? Because if Sleep With Me is that much a part of your bedtime routine, a part of your life, really, then you're a super listener. We could really use your help. Ads no longer cover, they never really have covered that level of super listening. But right now, they don't even cover occasional listening. So we could use your support, but maybe you should support something else instead of Sleep With Me, right? Like, is there something you listen to more than this show? Is there something that makes your life better that you count on day after day or for 8 hours a day like you do at night if you're an all-night listener of Sleep With Me? Because if there is, do not support Sleep With Me. Please support that thing. And if you haven't decided you're not supporting the show and you listen all night long, you listen to multiple episodes a night, you listen 5 nights plus a week, decide if the show's worth a half a cent to you or if it's worth more than that. I don't know. If you value the show, you don't have to. Most people don't. But if you do and you've been waiting or putting it off, or you're only hearing me for the first time, I really need you to consider, wow, is Sleep With Me worth a half a cent a night? Or does it bring me more value? And are you willing to support the show? Because right now we got a deal for all-night listeners on the boyfriend level, 20% off. You could sign up at sleepwithmepodcast.com/all-night to get that deal. And the first 5 people that use that code will get a Sleep With Me Plus, Sleep With Me notebook, my notes for an episode sent to you. But you'll also be a part of something special, and I really appreciate it. Thanks. Mystery Bard, a lot of people help out on the show. Who are they?
Chris Posty Poster Son sounds like an earful. Wrote the theme song. Edits episodes too. Carl W. the Legend. Also edits episodes. Ashley, Kenny, Scotty, Jennifer. Runner. Eric and the team at Astound or on the website. I am the Mystery Bard. I do the lullabies, yeah. I do commissions at jonathanmann.net. I'll write a song for you. Any reason at all. You can tell me the story and I'll make it personal. You see the kindness shine straight on through when the listeners form their own Facebook group. Keith, Stacy, Sarah, Julie, and Jennifer. These are your moderators. Get support dear Scooter on Patreon. Buy the merch and support the sponsors. You can find anything you want at sleepwithmepodcast.com. And we're so proud that we could dance. Rusty Biscuit, Lois, Hannah like banana. Leah does the transcripts.
Thanks, Mystery Bard. Oh, and hey, if you're listening to this, you know, the referral program, if you're not in a position to financially support the show, is a huge way to support the show and get free access to Sleep With Me Plus. That's at sleepwithmepodcast.com/refer. But there's also a tiny way anybody can help out the show. It's free. It helps out the show a little bit. And that's following the podcast wherever you listen to it or commenting if you listen on Spotify or YouTube. It really helps other people discover the show, helps you stay up to date on the latest episodes. And only 50% of people follow or subscribe. It's free to follow or subscribe in podcast apps. So if you do that, it just gives it helps people discover the show and it helps you stay up to date on the show. So follow or subscribe in your podcast app. That'll help out the show a little bit. Not necessarily keep us going forever, but I'd appreciate it. And while you're at it, go ahead and follow Bedtime Stories from Sleep With Me. That's in every podcast app, too. That has a story-only episodes that'll add it to your sleepy repertoire. Thanks, and what do you say we get on with the show? Hey, are you up all night tossing, turning, mind racing, trouble getting to sleep, trouble staying asleep? Well, welcome. This is Sleep With Me, the podcast that puts you to sleep. We do it a bedtime story. All you need to do is get in bed, turn out the lights, and press play. I'm going to do the rest. What I'm going to attempt to do is create a safe place where you could set aside whatever's keeping you awake, whether that's thoughts, things on your mind, thoughts about the past, present, the future, like thinking thoughts, feelings. Any feelings coming up for you about the past, the present, the future, feelings that are there, physical sensations, changes in time, temperature, routine. You could be going through something, getting over something, traveling, anticipating, in the middle, have guests, whatever it is. I'm really glad you're here, and I really hope I can help you with whatever it is that's keeping you awake by just taking your mind off of stuff and being there for you to keep you company or to just tell you a meandering tale. The reason I make the show, I kind of said earlier, is I've been there. Like that's the main reason I make the show. I've been there in the deep, dark night. Or I've been there before, the sun even sets me. I'm like, oh boy, I hope last night's not like it was, you know what I mean? I hope it's not like it was last night. Or starting to worry about Sunday night on Friday or Saturday afternoon saying, oh man. I mean, this is just what goes through my head sometimes. I should have never enjoyed that Saturday because I still got Sunday night coming. And the only reason I bring up that stuff is because it's really our bond. And this is the most subtle bond between human beings that could possibly be there, but it's powerful. Subtle, low pressure, low participation, but powerful. Because we share something, a sense of what the deep, dark night is. And it may be different for each person that's listening. It might be different for you. But you get a sense that we do share something about how it feels. And the better news, and this is really where the bond comes from, is that there's enough people listening around the world that there is someone out there that closely has experienced what you're experiencing. And they really understand what it's like on the inside and the outside for you. And they're part of the bond. If they've been listening for a while, is like they're really glad you're here. They are rooting for you in a sense of like, man, I hope this podcast helps you like it helped me out because it's weird. The guy that makes it is a little bit different, but I had no idea there'd be something out there like this that could help me out. I had no idea to even look for it. And when I found it, I didn't know what it was. So I'm really glad you're here now. They're like holding a nice space for you where you have plenty of room. Like, don't worry. And they have like a smile on their face or a barely smile because, they're lying in bed or they're brushing their teeth. And it's a nice feeling both ways because it doesn't come with a lot of other stuff. They just say, man, glad you're here. Cool. I hope this show helps you out because I know what it's like. They give you a knowing nod across the deep, dark night. So, yeah, that's the main reason I make the show. But there's another side to that, which is when you get the rest you need, your life is more manageable and your bedtime is less painful, right? You say, well, at least I have that podcast to listen to, and he's going to keep me company. And I know there's other people listening who are rooting for me. So that's not too bad. I mean, even though it's not terrific, Sleep With Me, it's not terrific. That's why I like it. It's pretty not bad. No other podcaster is as lucky as me, where they're saying, well, that podcaster, he's not bad. He's pretty okay. He's mostly not bad. He's like, I don't know he doesn't have a vocabulary to even describe what he does. I guess like middling. I don't know if that's the right word, but he's adequate. Yeah, there you go. That's it. He's adequate. Man, oh boy, is that podcast adequate. Mostly adequate. I feel like I should meet up with everybody from that book whose name now escapes me. Oh boy, man. And have a bite at the restaurant at the end of the universe finally. Maybe, hitchhike across the galaxy. But, you see, yeah, he's mostly adequate. Pretty much adequate. What is he adequate at? Well, he just he talks about something, but it's almost nothing. And it helps me drift off. I don't understand why it works, but since I started listening, I'm getting more of the rest I need. So my life, that's what's important to me, is that you get the rest you need so your life is more manageable. And that tomorrow you could live your life. And if this podcast does help you on a regular basis, you could be flourishing. And that's what the world really needs, is you in it. Our world's a better place with you in it, more rested and feeling a little bit better and living your life. So those are my goals, to make you feel less alone in the deep, dark night, but in a way that has this little, like I'm an introvert, so you say, oh boy, can you do that? I say, oh boy, no, I do it. I do it adequately and at a distance. And the way I send my voice across the deep, dark night, I use lulling, soothing, creaky, dulcet tones, pointless meanders, and superfluous tangents. So I go off topic, I get mixed up, I forget what I was talking about, then I loop back, and I say, oh, what? So my voice is not traditionally soothing, and I don't really follow a clear path. And when you get here, you may be skeptical, doubtful, or you may even be irritated or not like me or the show, and that's okay. That's pretty normal. The majority of people, there's not really a way for me to do it efficiently, but a majority of people the show aren't going to like me or the show. And I even have a website set up for them. If you're still listening, I would say give the show a few tries. I'll explain that. But if you know it's a no, me and you, or at least a no for now, go to sleepwithmepodcast.com/no thank you. I dare say we probably introduce more people to other sleep podcasts than listen to this one. And that's an accomplishment because it goes back to my earlier thing. You still deserve a good night's sleep no matter how you feel about me or the podcast. And it may just be neutral, right? You're like, yeah, this just doesn't work. No offense. And I say, none taken. Go to sleepwithmepodcast.com/no thank you. And see if there's something else out there on that website that can help you or introduce you to something that can. But for most people who are regular listeners, and this includes the people that pay just to support the show, it took 2 or 3 tries. Now, there are people it works for right away, or that get this sensibility of the show right away. But for most people, you came in looking for something to put you to sleep with certain expectations, and this show's just different. So just give it a few tries to see how it goes. You got nothing to lose, really. And then if you decide no, check out sleepwithmepodcast.com/no thanks or no thank you. Either one, I think, will take you there. So that's one thing. The other thing is the one of the parts that takes some getting used to is this is a podcast you just barely listen to. It's something you can listen to. Like, I'm here to tell you a story and keep you company, but you don't need to listen to me. And I don't know, like this idea of I'm kind of barely listening to you. It actually is natural because We do it all the time. We just don't notice, or people point it out in a negative way. But it's okay. Like it's like I don't know, unmultitasking. Can someone remind me? I said that nulti-tasking, like nullifying. I'm not trying to nullify multitasking, but it's kind of like multitasking. I think that works. And I don't know if that's actually is that a prefix? What comes at the beginning of a word? But like I've done it a lot in my life. Listen to something else just to have some sort of like somewhat engaging buzzing there, because I got a lot going on with inside and outside, and having something semi-comforting outside of myself. That's like just having it's the same as going for a walk or taking a shower. Or sometimes when you're driving calmly and you say, hey, man, then I thought of a good idea. I think it follows that same principle. Calm buzzing is the best way I can describe it, even though that's not, you know what I'm talking about. Could be a TV on the other room, or something boring, or you're listening to something, you're repurposing some other audio. It's a podcast you just barely listen to, but you could listen to it. Also, I'm not here to put you to sleep. I'm here to keep you company while you fall asleep. There is no pressure to fall asleep with this show. That's the reason the episodes are over an hour, is I'm here to keep you company while you fall asleep, not to put you to sleep. You could fall asleep, or if you can't sleep at all, I'm going to be here to the very end of the show, and then you could listen to episode after episode after episode, or if you need a break during the day. Because I'm here for you to keep you company so you don't have to pay attention to me. But that's kind of like where you say, I could pay attention to you, but I don't need to. And I don't know. So I'm here to really fill a role as your boar friend, your boar bae, your boar sib, your boar bud, your neighbor, your borloff, your boorman, your boars, your boar sib, your boar cuz, your boar bruh. Your best boyfriend forever. Just to keep you company and take your mind off stuff. And you say, I don't know what he was even talking about when you wake up tomorrow. Pretty sure he's going to go through some sleep report from Ikea that he's going to paraphrase and probably go on tangents that have nothing to do with it. But I don't know if I even got to that part. I think I did, but I don't know. It was great. So that's it's a podcast. It's a podcast most people don't like, especially at first. You don't really listen to it. Doesn't put you to sleep. It keeps you company. Give us more good news. No problem. The structure of the show is very intentional, but the podcast is flexible. So I'll just run through why we structure the show the way we do. And let me know if this part works. I don't know. I get so many emails that I feel like it's good that I explain this every time. But now I'm like, do I need to? But I guess it's someone's first time listening. If it's your first time listening, you might appreciate this. And that's important to me. But if you're a regular listener, you could also let me know. And I say, okay, let me think about this. But the show starts off with a greeting, which may be the most important thing. So you feel welcomed and you say, I could check that podcast out. You say, okay, well, I could check that show out. It sounds like sounds nice enough, and he sounds adequate. And I say, wow, you really are perceptive. You knew I was just adequate right at the beginning, huh? So that's the greeting. Then there's support. Most people over the years I've learned this prefer to listen to something ad supported that they don't have to pay for, and they like to listen to it linearly and just let the episode run and stop at the end of the episode. And then there's people that use sleep timers and at 60 minutes, 45 minutes. And that's the great thing about podcast apps. They have all settings like that. But most people like an ad-supported version of the show, and they just listen to it in order. So that's kind of the way it goes, because we have the intro, welcoming, then support, then an intro. Now, if you prefer some without ads, you get that on Sleep With Me Plus, but the intro part is separate from the support, and it's about 15 to 20 minutes long, where I try to explain what the podcast is kind of inefficiently, and I go on different tangents. I follow the same structure every time, but every intro is different. And every intro takes, 15 to 20 minutes so that you get some variety, but in a familiar way. That's one of the things I think is important about a sleep podcast. You say, okay, it's cozy and comfortable like I know it, but it's not predictable. Then the other thing is like it's 15 or 20 minutes so you can wind down. The intro is not meant to put you to sleep. If you find yourself like, some people fall asleep right away, like a small percentage, that's great. But if you like something without intros, we have bedtime stories from Sleep With Me, and that's ad-supported on every podcast app too. But for most people, the intro is just part of their routine, a nice bedtime routine that you could kind of start to slowly build for yourself with no pressure from me. And you could listen to the intro while you're getting ready for bed, you're getting in bed and getting comfortable and cozy, or you're doing a chill activity and winding down. And that's just what's been shown to work. What's worked for me personally is just having that buffer between when you're waking and kind of starting your night to end your night, and later when you'll try to fall asleep or trying, that just goes to the thing. Can't try to fall asleep, right? Because those of us that are here have tried a lot. So it just eases that. It's a wind down or a landing strip or whatever. So that's the intro. Then again, there's support, and then there'll be our bedtime story. Bedtime story is about 45, 50 minutes long. And also we'll be here for over an hour to keep you company and take your mind off and put you to sleep. So I'm glad you're here. And again, if you ever have any feedback or any questions, you can always get me through the contact form on our website. Because, I really want you to be a part of this thing. If you're a regular listener or you're new and you have questions, reach out. I'm here because we do this together. Like I could not be here, and all the people that work on the show could not be here without those of you that are a part of this thing. And never more in the history of the podcast have been more grateful for that. Because we get to help, we're helping, you're helping out so many people. And that's cool because, and then not everybody has to participate, right? Because there's so many people, like I said, that just like listen to this linearly and passively, and that's cool too. So we do it together, because you could just smile for those new listeners and you're part of this thing. Or you could just say, yeah, man, I see you out there and I'm glad you're here. We can all do that kind of together. And you could even just do it in your head, or you could say, nah, man, don't want to do it together. That's cool too. So I'm glad you're here. I really work hard. And all of us that work on the show, we yearn and we strive. We really want to help you fall asleep, or at the very least adequately keep you company in the deep, dark night. So I'm glad you're here. Thanks again for coming by. And if you ever wonder how we are able to do this and you want to take part, here's a couple of ways we are able to do it. Thanks. All right, everybody, this is Scoots right now. And if you're listening to me right now, you're hearing me. You know I've been doing these very targeted reads, right? Because this isn't for new listeners, this message. It isn't for occasional listeners. It isn't for people that listen from time to time. This is for people with Sleep With Me is not just a part of your bedtime routine, but it's like something that's a part of your bedtime routine 5+ nights a week. If you listen 5 nights a week, if you listen to 1 or more episodes a night, and if you listen all night long, please hear me out. If you're willing to listen. If you're not willing to listen or you're not interested, don't worry about it. I'm not trying to change anybody's mind here. I'm only trying to get through the people that haven't heard me yet or haven't listened yet, if you've already decided supporting the show's not for you and you're an all-night listener, don't worry about it. But if you are an all-night listener and you want to continue to be an all-night listener and you're listening to me right now, you're hearing me, you are a super listener, right? And you're who I'm trying to get it through to. Ads never have covered the cost of super listening, particularly all-night listening, because companies don't pay for ads that no one hears or listens to. And I think like super listening and all-night listening and 5-night-a-week listening is what makes Sleep With Me special and why I want it to be there. And I want this ad-supported, listener-supported, free version to be there. But it can only be there when the people that value it the most overcome whatever it is. Like if your mind can't be changed, that's not changeable. But if you're putting it off, if you're tuning me out, if you're saying one day, like if you've thought about it and there's just something small in your way, if you could think about signing up to support the show, it would be huge. And we really do need your support. If you're an all-night listener or a 5-night-a-week listener, 5 or more nights a week. And we have a great deal, 20% off the Boyfriend tier for all-night listeners. That's built with all-night listeners in mind. You could go to sleepwithmepodcast.com/all-night. The first 5 people to sign up, only with that link, though, sleepwithmepodcast.com/all-night. It's just 20% off the Boyfriends tier only. But the first 5 people will also get a notebook that I used to outline or write an episode sent to them. But you'll also be a part of something special, and I really appreciate it. Thanks. All right, everybody, Scoots here. This is a different episode than we've done before. We're going to be looking through, we've looked through, I don't know if we've looked through a paper IKEA catalog. I know we've gone to, maybe we haven't. So I guess I got to put that on our list too. I know we've virtually visited an IKEA and we've put together IKEA furniture. And this is not sponsored, but they did put out this report in 2025 called Sleep Uncovered. And I realize, they have a lot, but it's a very visual report, and I figured it's about sleep. Why not look through it? But then I thought, like, who best of all the people we work with to present this report? And then someone appeared who I had no idea even existed, who calls, what do you call yourself? A super relaxed Scoots. Oh, boy. Who are you? I'm you, but I'm super relaxed. I'm going to talk about sleep. Cool. All right. Well, so I'm going to turn things over to super relaxed Scoots. Are you chillaxed or relaxed? The term's relaxed, man. Because I've been over and over again. I'm in a state of relaxation. Okay, cool. I wish I could occupy the same space as you. Yeah, you do. You just don't know it, man, but that's fine. Okay, so this is a new person on the show. If you like Super Relaxed Scoots, let me know, particularly if you support the show directly, or so we could maybe have you on. I don't know. You've never been on the show before. It'll be fine either way. So thanks, Scoots, for having me on. And yeah, this is Sleep Uncovered, IKEA Sleep Report 2025. We'll only be paraphrasing and looking through this. It's a nice cover in the IKEA style. I don't know if there's an official IKEA font, but they do have a familiar font and a familiar look to their catalog. And there's a lot of great photos and ideas of idealized spaces to sleep in. And when they say why they did it or whatever, you sleep 1/3 of the time. And this is one of their most extensive surveys on sleep behaviors around the globe. And they're looking to better understand the sleep and because it's crucial. So, yeah, man, it's we're going to read through it slowly and paraphrase it. We got an image of two twins in a bedroom next. It is, they have a big clock, clock. They also have nice plant. They have matching plants. It looks like a winterscape outside their windows. Matching PJs, twin beds close to the ground. Mirror images of one another, except there's one's laying down and one's sitting. Oh, the time. It's bedtime, of course. 9:40. More like they're winding down. And there's a quote from Dr. Christian Benedict about sleep and how fascinating it is. So much more than rest. Thanks, Dr. Christian. Don't know if you're familiar with that song, but if we ever did a performance, we could do a parody song. I mean, we wouldn't be parodizing you, but a parody of the song Sister Christian. But we'd do it about Dr. Christian. I mean, it'd be pretty easy, right? The time is nearly right. It's time to turn out the light and sleep. To bid day adieu. Thank you, Dr. Christian. Then they run through the contents. There's an introduction. Chapter 1, The Secret Life of Sleep. Chapter 2, Behind Closed Eyes. Chapter 3, Good Night Every Night. And what's next? 34 pages, man. A lot of photographs, but not photographs like in the song, because we would change that to, I don't know, something... Pillow pals. That's maybe not, because they don't. We'll work on that. Yeah, relaxing scooter. What a time to be with a Sleep With Me podcast. Okay, so we'll just be paraphrasing. There's a picture of someone holding it. Comes with an executive summary. 55,221 people from 57 Ikea markets about their sleep habits. And, people want sleep, more sleep than they're getting. And there's not a lot of fairness in sleeplessness and sleep quality. And things at home can either help you or not help you. They also explain their methodology. 6 global experts contributed. This is one of the largest surveys on sleep habits and differences. And all markets were weighted equally in the global figures. Samples were designed to be nationally representative as far as they could. And... yeah, I don't know, they talk a lot about the methodology if you're interested. Beautiful bed up next, two whole family sleeping sound asleep, lots of pillows and blankets, and even some stuffies, a lot of textures, looks very comfortable and cozy. Then the next page talks about, the top 5 sleep-loving places. People love to sleep. You got Modern Times, and it's getting a lot of attention. 70% is one of the greatest joys. 74% for people 18 to 24. Less important over 65, only 63%. Some people would rather sleep, or most people, more than half, than go out and do a social activity. Students, parents, and night shift workers are more likely to view sleep as a joy than others. And can I mention it's a joy to be with all of you? relaxing and being here chill, man. Don't want to lean into that vibe too much because I'm just relaxed. I'm not relaxed for any other reason than I'm happy to be here with you, relaxing. But the top 5 sleep-loving places are Indonesia, Thailand, the Philippines, Singapore, and Egypt. Like if you're wondering how much on average more sleep people want, 1 hour and 20 minutes. But there's some places in the world people want 9 hours and get a lot less. And then there's some places where people almost get up to 8 hours. Now, mainland China is the only place with a regular average sleep over 7 hours. 65% of people take naps on this one. Now, in Egypt, 64% of people rate their not their sleep quality, but their sleep quality is good. Let's try. We're going to stick to the positive ones. 5 a.m. is the time and people in Colombia would like to wake up, which in this survey was the earliest risers. 0:45 a.m. is the latest bedtime, and that is in Turkey. Wow, 0:45, man. That's 0000 45 or 004,500. 82% of people in mainland China rarely wake up tired. And as far as pets, 5% of people in the UK sleep with their pets. 2% is the global average. And 57% of people in Bulgaria, drinking coffee is the first thing they do when they wake up. 24% is the global average. Now, we get to another big picture behind closed eyes. But we want to also take a look at this like it is, not in a negative way, an advertisement. This has a couple in bed. Seems to be a full-size bed or a queen-size bed. They have a room-length shelf that built into the wall. Then they have 3 lights over their bed. They have cubes on their wall, because somewhat like cubbies with books. They also have a plant. They have a globe light away from their bed. A table. Is that a fish tank there? A fish bowl? I believe it is a fish bowl. And nice layers. They seem to have 2 blankets and a duvet. Tough to tell if they're all both wearing PJs. Also at the head of the bed, they have another blanket. That's kind of a smart move, if you have plenty of room at the top of your bed for yet another blanket. I don't know if they have a top sheet or a duvet only. But next up is IKEA sleep score. Now, this is something that IKEA bases on the respondents' answers to questions about the 5 factors that make up good sleep. So we'll do that, and then it's calculated and stuff. So there's sleep quality, which is how do you feel like you're getting, how does the quality feel? Sleep duration, how long? Sleep flow, how often do you wake up? That one, man, I don't know why I keep saying man. That's what the people, man. Still saying it. I guess it's just something learned behavior from Cheech and Chong, which you just saw in a film about lower Manhattan after dark, which you'd never seen before. I don't know if we actually completed the movie because Scooter, he bounces around a lot. But it was, it had a lot of famous people in it too. And it looked like fun. Oh, and Scooter also said that, you know what I'd like to do? Relax, Scooter. And I said, what? He said, if he was to have walked home, the main character in this movie is called After Hours. We looked it up. I think it was a 2.5-hour walk, maybe. Or maybe it was it was pretty far. Maybe 10 miles, maybe 5 miles, I don't know. Lower Manhattan to upper east or west side. One day we're going to do that walk for all you. I don't know what time we'll do it at, because we'd have to scout it out first. I guess we could walk both ways. Could we do that? I don't know. If it's 10 miles, probably not. If it's 5 miles, we could. Okay, so sleep flow is how often you wake up. Not sure. Oh, I was talking about Cheech and Chong. That's why I kept saying humans, my people. What can I say? Drift off time. How much time does it take to fall asleep? Well, you know, if you listen to these Sleep With Me episodes with the intros, that's your wind down and then your drift off. This isn't a criticism of the report, but it's those are two different things in the Sleep With Me world. There's a wind down and then a drift off. They go hand in hand and work with one another. And then number 5 is your wake-up state. How you feeling when you wake up? And these are the sleep scores around the world. Coming in at number 1. Oh, I guess we should not do number 1 first. We could do it like a countdown. It's been a while since Scooter's just read through lists, but this is your top 56 sleep scores for 2025 here on our Lax Radio. Oh, it's got to be a W or a K. K-Lax is a real station. Or is W-Lax Radio. Nightwater Radio, that's one we kind of used before, but it's your topic, because the reason I said that is because Adam from Nightwater, the newsletter you should be subscribed to, either free or as a paid subscriber, either way. He introduced us to the BBC top countdown. And, you know, it's changed who's done it over the years, but one of our favorite things to listen to catch, just enjoy the countdown. So this is our count. Thank you, Adam, for introducing us to that. But we're coming in with, and coming in at number 56, top of our hearts, bottom of the charts, but the top of our hearts, Norway. In the 56th spot is Norway. Now, Norway also known for many great things, but in Scooter's world, it's known as the second place you get to when you take a left at the World Showcase at Epcot. Once the home of a ride that I can't think of right now. Now it's a Frozen ride. Journey into Norway was not what it was called. It was called the Maelstrom. And I'm sure if you're from Norway, you're school-bred. Those are not things that represent Norway, only a manufactured United States version of it, and you're correct. Place we'd like to visit in 56, Norway. In fact, every single number 1 was a place we'd like to visit. Coming in at 57, 3-way tie. 57, tied for 50. Oh, interesting. So this is not so our survey is off, everybody. Survey says Scooter. Incorrect, man. These are just scores, not the rankings, but we'll pretend they are. Tied at 57. Ireland, Sweden, and the USA. Coming in at number 57 on our charts for sleeping. is Sweden, Ireland, and the USA. All places, one place Scooter's visited, one his brother visited, and another place he'd like to visit, Sweden. Holy mackerel, Woody. So say hello to us, Sweden. Also interesting to note that Ireland and a couple more actually coming in these charts right in a row, so pay attention, are the top markets outside of the U.S. for Sleep With Me. I think all of these in a row. That's, I don't know if that's funny. That's funny. So 57 is U.S. That's the number one, most listeners for Sleep With Me. Tied for 58, the UK, Canada, and Australia. Those are the next three biggest markets for Sleep With Me. Canada, UK, Australia, and then Ireland and Sweden, all right there in the list together. Coming in at 61, another four-way tie. Jordan, Denmark, the Dominican Republic, and Chile. At 61. Not 62, we've got a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9-way tie. Coming in at 62, Croatia, the Netherlands, Portugal, Serbia, Italy, the Spanish Islands, Latvia, Morocco, and Taiwan. And I would say if that was two group, is that enough? That's one extra. Two groups in international soccer tournament. That would be quite exciting to watch. Really, like, you'd say, okay, wait a second. So that's at 62. Next up, we have 63, and that's a 2-4-6-way tie. Singapore, Germany, Malaysia, France, Saudi Arabia, and Czechia. And that's a four-way tie at 63, but our ranking doesn't really go. These are your sleep scores, not your ranking, of course. Scooter just got excited when he saw everything was listed. Next up, 64. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9-way tie at 64. That would be two groups plus one in an international soccer tournament. And again, this would be a good one. Holy moly. And Scooter's having a little trouble reading, but coming in 64, Colombia, Slovakia, Slovenia, Romania, Spain, Austria, Finland, Poland, and Switzerland. Coming in at 64. Next up, we've got at 65, 5 at 65. 5. This is time for 5 at 65. 5 great hits. They're 65 years old. Or we could do 65 hits at 5 years old if we were actually a radio station. And this is Lithuania, Hong Kong, Thailand, Mexico, and Bulgaria. All coming in at 65. Then it's 66, a three-way tie between Qatar, Estonia, and Greece. 68, we have skipping 67, so we skipped at least one number. Going straight to 68, a two-way tie between the United Arab Emirates and India at 68. And oh boy, we're here with the final 4 of our countdown. To run back through, maybe we could count to see how many actually are on our countdown. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28. So 56 plus 1 is 57. 57, so we were pretty close. We said 56, there's 57. Probably. And this is the top 4, 56 or 57. Sleep scores from around the world. Now, I don't know what the chart said last year. I don't know what they'll say next year. I'm only in this year. Coming in at 69 is Kuwait. Happily sitting there. It's 69 on the charts. Kuwait. Now, right behind Kuwait, or right in front, no, proceeding, Kuwait's following, and coming in 70. Number 3 is Egypt. And that just leaves 2 on our charts. At 71 is Indonesia. And who will be number 1 on this sleep score chart? It's at 74. With the score 74, it's 3 higher than our number 2, Indonesia. And 18 higher than Norway. It was a 74, mainland China. On our sleep around the world. And then we go to our next page of the report after that countdown. Maybe our favorite page because of the image. There's also a quote from Sophie Bostock, founder of the Sleep Scientist. And Sophie says that a lot of countries that are scoring higher on these charts, Indonesia and India, for example, put a lot of importance on social connections and building community and a higher purpose that may impact general happiness and sleep. So that is from Dr. Sophie Bostock. But this image is a very impressive one, and we're going to have to go through it piece by piece. An aspirational room of maybe a college student or a tween or a teen. We can't tell, but a really well done room. There's paper lanterns on the top, and but not just one circular globe-style paper lantern or hanging lamp, but many, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, at least 16. And well arranged and to give the room a real unique look without looking messy. And each light bulb is set to a different shade. So some are purple, some are blue, and some are pink. But then the bed also has a kind of an accent light to give a little bit of light and a reading light. And the person whose room it is in bed reading. They also have their wall is a, what is that called? A dry erase board. And there's it's a magnet. It seems to be a magnetic dry erase board or wall. And it says, be yourself. Everyone else is already taken. Let's just do it. You can. End of story. And then a couple other things we can't quite read. There's also a picture of, it looks like the Chrysler building. There's also storage for books and another couple accent lights. And some pictures. And then a neon sign. It's also something that looks like some sort of part from plumbing. And there's a chair. So you could read in bed or you could read in the chair, relax in the chair. And the next page is about sleep inequality and identifying it. And that's a real thing compared to the global average. There's There's a lot of groups of people that have much lower, there's a lot of challenges in the way of them getting good sleep. And a lot of those things that cause that are people that deal with challenges on a day-to-day basis. And it's not easy. And a lot of things, they say, thoughts, feelings, and physical sensations, like Scooter talks about. And that adds it's structural, environmental. And this is a quote, why some groups experience lower sleep scores than others. People dealing with longer working hours, lower pay, other cultural pressures, and environmental factors, crowded cities, noise, light pollution. And that's from the two co-authors of Black Power Naps, Nabil da Costa and Franny Sosa. So you can also check that out, Black Power Naps. The next page talks about even though sleep is free and available to everybody, it's still a luxury. And it continues this talk about the things that impact sleep and sleep flow. Because boy, do I identify with that sleep flow issue right now. And a lot of things, thoughts, feelings, physical sensations from the day can impact your sleep flow, as well as your sleep score. And behavioral sleep scientist Vanessa Hill said, if you have a commute to work, multiple jobs, long hours can impact sleep as well. Next up is the sleep-mind connection. A little bit different than the rainbow connection, but not that different with, thoughts, feelings, physical sensations being the biggest are part of those reported barriers to a good night's sleep. It's not being like, it's thoughts, it sounds like, and things from the day left over. That's from Stephanie Bostock. 8%, it could be something you could talk to your GP about. But there's just a list of those things that could be impacting it. Next up is something Scooter's had a lot of good conversations about. We've also tried to do some stuff about this, but it never quite developed. But that's a hustle culture and people's outside opinions about your sleep. Because there's this world that says we should be hyper-productive and sleep is indulgent. And people talking about success and sleep and detaching the two. But we do know that factually sleep impacts how we work, and getting the right balance affects sleep. And the more balance you have between work and life, the better your sleep score, 52 to 67. Dr. Christian Benedict again says, we're not doing enough to talk about sleep at work. And that good sleep helps us perform cognitively and physically. So, man, it's a fact. Next up, we have another, now this bedroom is not our style, me and Scooter's style. But it's not a full picture. It's a couple wearing kind of matching PJs. And one member of the couple has a vinyl record player. It looks like he's about to start playing a record at bedtime. Good idea, I think. But they have their bed, many layers of fabrics and stuff, but it looks like they've made it into a little bit of like a tent bed, which I think is a highly great idea for creating a dark sleep space and also a comforting one. May not work for me and Scooter because we need that airflow, But if you don't need that airflow, it doesn't show how they're doing it, whether they're in one of those canopy beds or it's suspended from the ceiling. But, however they're doing it and they're doing it well, man. And it's interesting. So that's good sleep every night. Next up is what are some good strategies here? And they say, from what we've heard, it's about having the right routines, rituals, and surroundings. And the global average to drift off is 24 minutes. So that's the time it takes. But doesn't, in my opinion, I think you could shorten that if you're doing a wind down. I'm big on the wind down. Right, because if, let's say you did 20 minutes of a wind down, I don't think you're going to drift off in 3 minutes. But maybe then you can drift off in a little bit less time. But that's how Sleep With Me is built. Like, let's say you start episode in bed. That's usually when the episode part of the show starts, is about 24 minutes into the thing, which is kind of how we've always built the show, to wind down and then drift off. But no pressure at all. We're here to relax you, right, and stay relaxed. The first time I'm trying this out as a guest, I'm glad to be here to talk like this. Different versions of Scooter. Now it's talking about screens in the bedroom, but before we get to, I guess we could talk about it after, right? So they say, okay, you don't want to be looking at your phone, and maybe you leave it in another room to get some sleep, but it's easier said than done. Because phones are part of a wind down routine. 72% of people use them in bed. But maybe it's not, they said maybe we don't understand, because mainland China and Indonesia, people sleep well despite high bedtime phone activity. And despite phones, 1 in 4 people still use an alarm clock. So phone use in the bedroom, let's talk about that. We're at 72% is the global average. 18 to 24 is 86%. Over 65, 51%. Laptops or tablets is 24%. 18 to 24, 40%. Over 65, 17%. And then TVs in the bedrooms, 39%. That's highest among 55 to 64-year-olds at 42%. And let's read this next quote, and then we could talk about, there's another section about wind down coming up. But yeah, Dr. Bostock says, with phones, it's not about the screen or the light. It's about the displacement of sleep. People spend an extra 40 minutes on their phone before bed. And that's when our self-control is lowest. So we just want to talk about it here because we know Sleep With Me is mostly listened to in a podcast app on a phone, right? And so we recommend a couple different things because, we don't like to get into all or nothing solutions at Sleep With Me, but you don't really necessarily have to look at your phone, right? If you start the episode while you're winding down, then your screen will be already off, right? And some people listen with sleep phones, people on their phone speaker itself, on they cast it to a smart speaker, a pillow speaker. But and the reality is, maybe you need your phone near your bed because it's your alarm clock or you have kids or whatever. But that's kind of what we lead by example, what we normally try to do around here at Sleep With Me Central is not use our phone ideally, but that's tough. Sometimes that doesn't happen. But ideally we start our wind down an hour before we want to be to sleep. But that's part of like a enjoyable wind down of like doing some writing, stretching, and then reading a book. And now we have dyslexia, so we can't read a paper book, but what we do is we use, kind of whatever gives us the lowest amount of blue light. But yeah, let's get to this wind down part here. The wind down, people say going to bed and waking up at the same time is a best way to achieve better sleep, or main way. And evidence shows consistent sleep and wake times are important. And having regular wind down rituals can help too. Most of us do same self-maintenance before heading off into dreamland. And again, this is something we've seen play out, right, with our own personal, trying to stay relaxed, is building a nice routine for yourself, that you try to stay consistent or imperfect, but maybe it's modules. That's what it is for us. There's a foam rolling stretching module that ideally we do. There's like a little mini journal we do. There's another like little check-in we do. There's a meditation piece we do. And then there's a reading piece we do, or maybe two sets of reading, like an early wind down, or reading something nonfiction kind of to help our focus of what was this day like, or where are we going? And then a fiction at the last thing we do. And yeah, we like any of those modules, you could say, okay, well, I'm not going to do that. But we do try to say, well, you're not going to foam roll because you're in a hurry. Maybe we should foam roll anyway. And we personally do find the phone can be a distraction to that if we're scrolling. Time moves differently for us, at least, when we're doing that. And suddenly 9:30 could become 10:15 pretty quick. Where if we're doing those modules, they're each only like 5 or 10 minutes. It's a strange contrast to get to know yourself better internally and say, how come foam rolling, which is good for my body, somewhat barely pleasurable, but we know it's good, helps with our back too. How come that takes it 2 or 3 or 5 minutes, but we always want to say, nah, that's not it. Let me do some of this scrolling though. So all this is usually a chance to get to know and love yourself a little bit better. But what are some common routines before sleep? 28% of people brush their teeth. 21% wash. 18% drink water. 17%, only 17% go to the bathroom. But I guess that's like part of your routine. It is part of our routine for sure. Watching TV. I guess leading up to it, I could see that. Reading, 15%. Using phone, 13%. Eating, 8%. Listening to music, 7%. And other belief-based rituals, 7%. Dr. Christian then talks about social jet lag. When your sleep schedule, oh boy, do we know what this is, difference between weekdays and weekends. Our internal clock thrives on predictability. So maintaining a stable sleep schedule, including a consistent wind-down routine, can help. So that is interesting because we've tried to do that, but the problem is that it's hard, right? I don't want to get up at 6:30 or 7 on a weekend. And so it's something on even sleep podcasters have room to grow. All right, bedroom dreams fulfilled. This is satisfaction with bedroom elements. 81% of people are satisfied with their bedding. 78% with their bed. 77% with their sleepwear. 75% with their sleep quality. 72% with their temperature and 70% with their storage. And it talks about kind of making your own space, you know, because sometimes your room has to serve more than one purpose. Then there's power naps. If you work from home, especially, 69% of people work 1 to 4 days at home nap versus 60% who never work from home. 65% of people take naps. 33 minutes is the average length of a nap. That's a good length. 32% of nappers are non-parents, and 68% are parents of children under 18. Dr. Christian says, 20-minute nap can boost recovery without disrupting sleep, but don't nap too long. It can cause sleep inertia. So, but right here, there's a quote, even just resting for 20 minutes can be beneficial. There's no pressure to fall asleep. That could be right out of sleep with me, but plus Scooter's pastime, especially that he learned in 2019 and 2020 of like just laying. And that if you can get to that relaxed state, kind of like I feel a lot of time, just this part of me, you could just lay there and relax and you don't have to sleep. Okay, what about how do you lay in bed? Most common sleep positions for solo sleepers, 39% on your sides with your legs tucked, 29% on your side with your legs out, 18% on your back, and 13% on your stomach. Now, for couples, 44% have no pattern, 29% back-to-back, 16% cuddling, and 12% face-to-face. But this says that it gives you a higher sleep score. So that's interesting. Sleeping as a duo sleeping's traditionally a communal activity. Okay, top 10 sleep aids, creating a sleep sanctuary. Air conditioning or fan, 24%. Curtains or blinds, especially ones that keep the light out, 21%. Things you get from your GP, 19%. Music podcasts or audiobooks is 17%. 14% a book, 13% a mattress or pillow, 11% other things that you just buy at a store, 10% aromatherapy or white noise, 7% sleep mask, and 7% bedding with heating or cooling features. Next up is their top 10 tips for better sleep. Coming in at number 10, look at the big picture. Aim for consistent, realistic, and don't be perfect. Coming in at number 9, don't force it. This could be names of songs. Don't force it. Let go of pressure and just relax. Number 8, physical activity during the day. That came in at number 8. Number 7, what are you consuming before bed? Try to think about that. Number 6, don't look at screens. Recommendation here. Audiobooks or podcasts instead. We didn't even know that, man. That's cool. Good habits. Enjoy rituals like a hot bath, or anything that'll help you signal your brain that it's bedtime. Maybe like a podcast with a long intro. Unwind your mind, breathing exercises or meditation. Build a sleep sanctuary, a cozy space, comfortable dim lighting. That's number 3. Number 2, get natural light during the day. Number 2, I used to do these videos early in the podcast where I'd give advice, and that was like one of my number 1 things. Open your blinds as soon as you wake up, and then if you can, go sit outside. And 1, stick to a routine, regular bedtime and wake times. Finally, they say, what's next for sleep? And they say we're just learning. There's no universal fix. But there's many everyday changes people can try, and we're committed to sleep. And then it says good not. That's finally I got it. Stayed relaxed so the whole time. And that's Swedish for good night. So I'll say good night to everybody and sleep well from regular Scooter and relaxed Scooter. Good night. Good night. Thanks. Maybe this is Scoots trying to tuck you in, and I'm trying to get through. If you're still listening to me, this tuck you in message is very, very specific because obviously if you listen on a regular basis, you know, we're trying to reach people just like you. I'm not sure if you're the person I'm trying to get through to right now, but it is a lot for a sleep podcast, right? Because I need somebody that's listening, paying attention, hearing me. And in this case, I'm looking for somebody, and I don't know if you're that person that listens all night long and I just caught you at the right time, or you listen 5 nights a week, you listen to 1 or 2 episodes a night. You're very, very specific, and it might be easy for you to brush off, but I really need you to just please listen to me, and I promise we'll have a great deal at the end if you hear me out. Because a lot of people tune me out, or I'm not even sure what is the main thing that I need to say. I'm not trying to convince you of anything. I'm only trying to see if you're the person this message is for, really. Because I know I don't need to convince anybody to support the show. Because like 50% of the people, or a little bit more than 50% of the people that I'm trying to get through to this, say, no, I'm not going to support the podcast. And then there's the people that will support the podcast, but then there's the large majority of super listeners. And in this case, are you, so let's see, are you listening to me, or are you paying attention? Do you listen either all night long, 5, 6, 7 nights a week, or you listen to multiple episodes a night? Because you're definitely a super listener. It sounds like the podcast makes your life better, but you could decide that, right? Does the podcast make yourself better? But if this show is here for you, we really do need, our goal was by the summer to get 1,500 super listeners just like you to support the show on Sleep With Me Plus. Not just so the show can get by, but so it can be here. We put out a lot of content. I don't know, so it can be here for you to listen to it all night long, because ads have never covered all night listening. Ads have never covered the cost of multiple episodes a night listening, because in the end, we make about a half a penny an ad. And if you're fine with that, I'm not trying to change your mind, right? Or if you say, I don't like it, it's not a big deal to me whether the podcast is there or not, or whether it gets by or not, whether it's a struggle or whether the show's flourishing. I'm not trying to get a hold of you if you're that person. I'm just wondering if you're one of those people that cares and knows the podcast is valuable to you, but there's something else that's been standing in your way, because I'm not sure what it is. And I know if it's like that for you, it's probably like that for other people, and that's how we're going to get there to our goal, because we do have a long way to go. We've got 500 people supporting the show, new supporters now, and we need 1,000 more. And I don't know if you're that one person, but don't deny the fact you can choose not to support the show. That's great. But I am talking to you like you probably are the only person hearing me and listening to me right now. So I just need you to decide. If you decide, no, I'm not going to support the show, that's a valid choice. Otherwise, you could think about supporting the show. But don't be in the middle. The middle's where the podcast can't make it, right? It's, I don't know, I need to get through to those people that listen all night long. And if not, right, like like I said, if you don't want to support the show, if you're not going to support the show and you decide that, that's okay. I'm only trying to get through the people I need to get through to. I'm not trying to change minds as so much as communicate and be heard by the people that are listening and can hear me. But the thing is, if you're not going to support Sleep With Me and you're still listening and hearing me, think about, like, what do you use as much as Sleep With Me or more? What makes your life better, even if it's during the day? I could ask you a favor. Support that. Even if it's a mega corporation, even if you pay for the service and it has ads, support it, right? Like support whatever makes your life better. One thing. You could, if you're in a position to support multiple things, that's amazing too. But if you're not going to support Sleep With Me, think about what is that thing, the creator, the musician, the writer, who you are going to support. But if you're like, no, Sleep With Me is the thing that makes my life better. Like Sleep With Me is the thing. And I am getting through to you, right? Sleep With Me's been there when nothing else has. You paid for other sleep stuff. It never worked for you. You listen to a show all night long and you want to pay for it because ads don't cover the cost of that, right? But we only need one out of, what do we got? We need 1,000 of about 19,000 people. So 1 out of 20. If you're that 1 out of 20 people, you could change the thing of the show. You get a 7-day trial at Sleep With Me Plus. But here's the thing. If you're listening to me right now, we got 2 deals going here. You could go to sleepwithmepodcast.com/all-night and you'll get a 20% off the Boar Friend tier. Only the Boar Friend tier and only if you use that link, sleepwithmepodcast.com/all-night. Because the Boar Friend tier and the Boar Besties tier are built with all-night listeners in mind. But I can only give you the discount if you use that link. And it'll automatically populate if you go to sleepwithmepodcast.com/all-night. But here's the thing. The first 5 people that do that, I'm also going to send you a notebook because I'm moving and I'm going through all my old stuff. And I used to take paper handwritten notes of the TV recaps and the written episodes. I can't let you choose because a lot of stuff's already packed. But I will take a notebook. I'll put a couple stickers in it and I'll send it to you. If you sign up at sleepwithmepodcast.com/all-night, and you'll get that 20% off deal. So it's 20% off Boar Friend tier. This is the best tier for all-night listening. It's built with all-night listeners or people that listen very frequently. So become a Boar Friend, and you'll get that discount at sleepwithmepodcast.com/all-night. Thanks.